Welcome back to the channel. Jonah Bulls here. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your summer. It is toasty as can be. And by popular request, I'm actually going to go over a quick recap of intro to penny stocks in 2020, and in particular the general idea of day trading them. As always, if you're new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, let's get right into things. So starting over, we're just going to go over a quick recap on what penny stocks actually are. So by definition term, penny stocks, any stock traded under $5. Some people classify it as $1, but for the general idea, it's $5 there. These stocks are normally lower cap stocks with a low float, meaning they're manipulated easy, and due to having a smaller amount, it's very easy for large companies to pump and dump in a style. You see a lot of these in pharmaceutical companies and tech startups. There's smaller companies just entering the market, and it's even just going to be a few cents starting in the market. People find these very intriguing because with such a low price, you can buy a lot of shares and own a large percentage of it. For example there, if you were to buy a share of Tesla right now, it's about $1,000. If that goes up, 20 cents, you're not going to notice anything because maybe you can only afford one. But if you find one of these little stocks that start going up, 20 cents, and you own like 10,000 of it, you're going to get a big return. So it's very favorable for especially investors just getting into the market. You have the option to buy a large quantity of a company that you normally would never be able to. And big market moves like that mean substantial gains, which is especially important too if your broker does charge commission fees. That commission fee will add up and eat away at your profits. So being able to know that a few cents could actually mean hundreds of thousands of dollars right off the bat is kind of huge in a lot of investors' sense, and it also gives volatility in your favor. So that's always a great one.
Looking at some of these larger companies, even with the whole COVID crisis going on right now, they don't move that fast, as you can see. Even on the 5-day chart here, there isn't a whole lot of volatility that you have, thus not having as great as an option to make profits in day trading especially.
So checking out some of the cons of penny stocks, as intriguing as they are, you can tell that they have a lot of downside to them. The first one is they're easy pump and dumps. Literally, the definition of pump and dump is literally just finding a low cap stock, pumping it up, getting the price up and up, sell it, and then just watch it tank. You'll see a lot of these stocks climb throughout the day, 80, 90, 100% in a day, and then come crashing down, losing like half of their value just in one day. So they do have a high risk to them. I would definitely recommend you doing your research.
Looking at this, for example, ticker symbol GUNS, you can definitely see a prime example here of a pump and dump. As you can see, it began to get inflated and hyped up with current news of an expectation of release. It soared, going 100% plus a day, and then you can see at its peak there just come flying to the top, and just as fast as it went up, it drastically began to sell off. Pretty much this happens due to just people locking in their profits. At a certain point, you're just going to see the company overinflated. As you can see with the RSI on the middle to lower part of the screen, you can see it hits the red zone going into the high 90s, and it just comes down to eventually people aren't willing to invest in it. They've locked in profits, especially with something like that. And at that point, the people who've sold have made the money, and anyone still holding is going to have drastic losses.
The other one would be there's a low market float. So yeah, as I said earlier, you can actually manipulate them pretty easy. You can buy a large percentage of them, no problem, and it's going to affect how the stock moves a lot more than some other safe ones. And as well, you're going to be checking out, there's no foundation to a lot of these companies. The fundamentals aren't there yet. A lot of it's guessing and, estimating and hypothesizing that the company would succeed. You have no foundation. Larger companies in the S&P 500, they've had years of experience in the market, and they have, quarterly reports year after year after year. You can look back and see how those companies have improved and just how they generally move. So you're taking a big risk with this because you have no idea how this company operates and even if it will be profitable. A lot of these companies start heavy in debt. You're under the assumption that they're going to break even, but a lot of these companies don't. Some of these companies go bankrupt and they'll just be delisted right away. So you're definitely taking a big chance on that one, but with no risk, no reward kind of thing.
So when it comes down to actually trading penny stocks, your biggest issue here is actually going to be finding stocks that are going to have an upward momentum and have a large pump earlier in the day. Your goal with these kind of penny stocks is to find companies that have volume, like multiple times larger than normal, and in the end to try and profit on this upward trend of just overinflated stock price in most cases. This heavy volume mixed with the fact that these are micro market cap stocks really puts into play just how aggressive that these companies are going to jump up and down throughout the day. Commonly when trading, you can see on the charts, your first opening half hour is going to be the most volatile hour of the day. This is just due to the fact that there's the largest quantity of traders active, as well as the largest overall capital funds being moved. We're also going to see a massive push between 12 and 1 when focusing on Eastern Standard Time, and this is just due to both the Toronto Stock Exchange and New York Stock Exchange having lunch breaks over this duration. Your main goal throughout buying these penny stocks in this portion is just to ride the uptrend wave. It is easiest earlier in the day to get into this, pretty much due to the fact that you will have more momentum. It does get to be wishy-washy trading as the day goes on, as people begin to lock in profits and sell off. So when trading, I definitely recommend focusing in the earlier portion of it. I personally have had the best luck, focusing from pretty much the first hour of market being open. But in the end, it just comes down to what you feel comfortable with and where you see value. To better your chances of success, I strongly recommend using indicators when trading penny stocks. For a lot of these companies, I would suggest using your relative strength index, your RSI, as well as some sort of moving average. You're pretty much trying to track how aggressive these companies are going up and down, and try and capitalize on buying in when there are either dips or you see that volume is just slowly starting to increase. In the end, 90% of all penny stock companies have no real service or product. They're just burning through cash and they're surviving by selling more shares. You see this a lot more recently with the whole joke about Robinhood traders buying these bankrupt companies. A lot of these pumps come from companies actually doing horribly wrong and having the slightest chance of survival. But when you look at it long term, like an investor would, there is no hope for this company. So you definitely want to be careful with it and not end up bag holding for a longer term suffering. When trading penny stocks, I would definitely recommend always trading with a stop loss in place. Not to mention, with these aggressive movements, penny stocks can commonly get halts and you'll have a lot of these unknown blank periods. But more so, once sell-offs begin, they can be dropping 5-10% every second. So having a stop loss and just being able to calculate your potential loss is really key. I've seen many people throw way too much of their portfolio into penny stocks and burn through entire portfolios in just a day or two. To recap it, when searching for penny stocks, I definitely recommend using a scanner or another type of indicator tool that will just help you find these penny stocks they're running, especially in the pre-market sector of everything. Having a proper understanding of why these companies are jumping up. In the end, I definitely recommend doing your research prior. Penny stocks do have the highest risk, but they also have the highest reward. I also personally recommend not to hold penny stocks overnight. Since the market after hours do close before pre-market, you will have a dead zone where you cannot trade. And commonly these companies, as I've said, do have shady portfolios and other analytics to them. So overall, there's a lot better chance of this company tanking than going up after hours. There is a time where the company begins to inflate. That's the time you want to get in, and holding overnight could make you money. But as you can see, once you hit that peak and the sell-off begins, you can easily lose 50%, 60% in just a day. So definitely, be safe about it, and it never hurts to lock in profits. It's a lot better to lock in 10% than lose 50.
So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. That was pretty much the quick recap I had on penny stocks there. Personally, at this point in my life, I don't really trade many penny stocks. I will have small portfolios, but definitely when I started out in the market, I definitely did push towards penny stocks. As I said, they are great for new investors and people who have a lower capital for investing there. So I would definitely say do your homework, understand that you're getting into a high-risk market, but play it safe, get a little send in it, and have some fun. You can definitely make a whole lot of money in those if you play your cards right. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for up-to-date content there. I will be trying to get back to weekly videos here now that summer's kicked around. I got a bit more free time. And yeah, as always, stay sendy and stay safe. Take it easy, guys.